Hey, good evening. 716 Delta Mike here. King Air this evening. This is the Black Square Analog Edition of the King Air 350. Super nice model. Have it flown this plane or give it a try. I highly recommend it. Little offline flying this evening. Set the time for morning. It's live weather. Love the looks of this aircraft. Be super fun to have this one in real life, wouldn't it? This is going to be flying out of India 68 in Warren County, Ohio. This is actually my home airport. Currently a student pilot out of this airport all the time. Fun little airport. It's free on Flight Sim TO. This actual model is picked it up. It's pretty realistic, I would say. It's not 100% accurate, but it's 80-90% accurate. Flying club here. Our hangar is this whole set of hangars, the flying neutrons. That parking lot's real. That airplane right there is real. I think the hangars are pretty well modeled. The tarmac out here is very accurate. This dark black asphalt is just like it really is in real life. You got two runways here, really. Runway 1 with a 10 heading and runway 19 on a 190 heading. Predominantly winds favor taking off on 19, but when winds are calm, people use 01 for the most part. Flight right now, though, winds 200 at 4, so we'll plan to depart on runway 19. We'll make a left-hand downwind departure. Fly to the northeast. We're going to fly up to Columbus, and we're going to check out the Bolton Field. Flown there once in real life in a Cessna 172, not a King Air, but a fun little plane. Just thought we'd give it a shot here. So we'll jump in and see how this thing goes for this evening. Set up here pretty quickly. I don't know if some of you guys watch V1 simulations. I watch a lot of his stuff. He used to fly the King Air in real life. Learned a few things about the King Air from watching his streams and what he had to talk about. So we'll try to do as much of it as we can. One of the things he said was his pet peeve is watching people start the engines and burn the fuel while they set up the navigation. So do it kind of the way he. So I got the turn on our battery. Let's turn our battery off real quick. I like to set our fuel here before we started. Turn our auxiliary tanks down to 0. Then on the mains, that's 95 each side. So 90 is 180. So 190 gallons. Let's 200 gallons of fuel, more than enough. We do want to bump our payloads up a little bit. A couple of bigger guys in the thing here. Let's CG is set here, so we're 42% on the payload. All right, kind of loaded out here. So now we'll go ahead and turn our battery on. Go ahead and turn the external power on as well and get our avionics on. Master cautions here. And kind of looks like it's a little chilly this morning. It's 26 degrees in there, the aircraft currently. A little cool. We'll, that goes here. We'll warm things up here shortly. Still check engines are at 100%. I flew this aircraft a little while ago. So
TOS system test okay.
And what's the altitudes here? We're not doing this online, so we're gonna keep it nice and simple. 13 knot tail. We'll plan for 7,500 for our altitude. Probably really don't even need to go that high, but we'll see how that works out. We probably won't be at cruise altitude for any length of time here. We're gonna go to the side. We're running the GTN 750, the GTN XI. Get who makes that actually right this moment. Payware. It's fantastic if you haven't tried it. Like this Black Square King Air Also payware, fantastic if you haven't tried it. Harrop. And we're going into Bolton Field, so that is Kilo Tango Zulu Romeo. Alright, so see what. I'm going to plan for a visual approach. So field elevation there is 900 feet. 1,000 above that's 1,900. We'll add 500 for that. So 19, that'd be 2,400. We'll shoot for 2,400. Let's see if we can do it as a long track. I don't know what that, let's see what this last leg is here. That last leg is distance. What is it going to give us? That's 10 miles. So yeah, we'll do a long track here. We'll plan for 4 miles before we get to the airport. And we'll plan to be at 2,400 feet right here. So this will help us with our vertical navigation. We have, again, a really cool feature of this GTN 750Xi. That message. So it's going to give us a flight plan here. Let's go ahead and zoom out here and just double check that, see what that looks like. Basically going to fly mostly direct. There's sizes. We'll make a right turn to Harrop. Then 4 mile offset right here. Be at 2,400 as you can see. And then we will visual approach right in on runway 22 is the plan here. Shoot for. Looks like there's a new version available there, so I'll have to go get an update after that. 7,500. I think that's what we're going to plan for. 7,500 set on the altitude. What else we need to do? We got our rudder boost and electric trim already enabled. We'll go ahead and turn on our oxygen supply as well. Take the props, roll them up in full forward position. Make sure our throttles are in the idle cutoff position and levers are in the cutoff position as well. Double check here. Let's make sure all of our it's got state saving here, but apparently maybe either I forgot to turn the cabin temperature mode to the off position before the last time or not. I'm not sure, but we'll make sure everything's set in the off position here before we get started. Set everything is off there. What we will need though is a nav light and a beacon light here before we get started. Let's turn that on. And what we're going to do, since we're going to start off of battery power without external power, we've got our navigation set. It's alright, so we'll turn our avionics master to the off position. And we'll go ahead and kill our external power. We will look out the window left. Clear prop, young man. You should get out of the way. Those blades are going to eat you alive. Clear prop. Left and right is clear. Master caution is off. And we're going to start the right side first. So we'll go engine starter to right side to on. This is a turbo prop. We're watching our turbine here. Technically, I believe the answer is 12. I usually roll that up to about 20. And then we're going to introduce fuel. We'll go to low idle. And there's fuel at low idle. So we're going to keep watching as our turbine and RPMs continue to climb. When we cross 50, we'll disengage the starter because we don't want to burn our starter up here. So here comes 50. So with 50, we'll roll the starter to the off position. Take our right side inverter, turn it on, and we'll turn our right generator on and up one more time to reset the gen. That'll give us right sides. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do is go ahead and turn the avionics master back on. Another cool little feature learned watching V1 is that proper procedure starting off the battery, not off of external power, would then be to take your number 2 engine that's already started. I'm going to roll that up into high idle. Typically don't fly the turboprops in high idle unless you're needing short field takeoff and landing performance. But as that stabilizes, RPMs are going to increase. You could hear the engine spool up a little bit more. And I'll tell you what else we forgot to do is we forgot to get our barometric pressure here, which is 3018. So let's go ahead and set that just real quick before we spin up the other engine. We'll go ahead and get ourselves rolling here. So there's 3018. And double check one time, left side, stay out of the way there, yellow coat. And we'll start left side, clear prop. And left side is turning here. We're watching the RPMs come alive here. Technically it's 12, but I like to wait till 20. And at 20 we'll introduce fuel, low idle. And there's low idle. And now we are watching our ITT, and there's our I68 coming up. We want to make sure we stay below, there we go, below 900. The ITT roll back now, working nicely. Here comes 50, so through 50 we'll disengage the starter. Left side inverter on, left side generator on, and left side generator reset is now set. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and get some temperature controls going on here so we can't heat this cabin up a little bit here. We'll go a bit lower to auto, cabin master to on, and furnace to on. We'll go ahead and get our environmentals, our bleed air, left and right on, app blower on, and electric heat on. And let's see, we are still looking at 28 degrees here in the cabin with 26 degrees on the outside here, so we're up by 2 degrees, and we still got our little blue light on here saying cabin temperature is low. Alright, that said though, we're going to take a look at our navigation one more time. So it'll be direct sizes once we get out of here on our left downwind departure. So that's a 059 on the course heading. So let's go ahead and set a 059 on the course heading here. So spin that dial course heading around just a little bit. So there's 06, there's 059. Going to be departing off of runway 19. So let's get our heading bug spun around too while we're at it. Spin that around and line that up. Basically right there, 190. We got our altimeter already set, and I believe we're mostly ready here. So let's take a look here. Another cool feature of this GTN 750. You click on the airport info here, and let's take a look. So we got a field elevation 898. We can get our weather data here, which happens to be not available, but I'm using ForeFlight and have it available right now. But Unicom 23075. So let's go ahead and click on that, and I believe we can go ahead and put that in the active. And AWAS here 2055. We'll put that in standby, but I don't think we'll be able to hear it because I'm not on any ATC. But we will pretend that we are. So we'll pretend that we already have the weather information, which apparently is 200 at 4, visibility is 10, clear below 12,000, temperature is currently 0 or 32 degrees, dew point minus 10, altimeter 3018, and our humidity 47%. That is as of 7:55 p.m. Eastern time, which is the last 15 or 20 minutes. Alright, so we have our frequency here for Unicom 23075, so we'll go ahead and tune that. We can announce on Unicom as we're departing out of here. And then we are going to zoom in just a little bit here, take a look. Alright, so 059 is our initial course heading. We're going to depart 19, we'll make a left downwind departure to the northeast, and we will intercept our course and be on our way. So let's go ahead and make sure we get our engines into this basically idle position here for the ground. Using the Bravo throttle bar. We're going to need our taxi lights on. We'll go ahead and take our recon lights on as well. We will need windshield heat and prop. And we'll go ahead and I think B1 called that the Hot 5. So before we depart now, we need to remember engine auto ignition needs to be to the arm, and auto feather will need to be to the arm position. Double check our trim, and our trim is a little bit towards the down, but still in neutral there. So we are good. Let's disengage the parking brake, and we will begin our taxi out of here. Oops, one thing I can already tell you, we should have done, we should bring that right engine back down to low idle. Warren County traffic, King Air 350 Kilo Romeo, taxi runway 19, traffic. Lights on. What a beautiful airplane, man. It's really it's one of my favorites. Love flying out of this airport. Love flying this airplane. Do need to go ahead and get our flaps set. We'll do that. We should have done that before we started rolling, but we'll go ahead and push them down into the first notch here. We do have flap indication right here showing. Gimbal we'll have to stop down here just before we get ready for departure and get things ready for our getting out of here. Should be a relatively short flight. I'm expecting about 20 minutes or so. Be 25. See how it goes. Just a short hop. Pretty exciting about Microsoft Flight Sim. Thinking back how far it's come in the last couple of years. Some really good airplanes coming out now as well. It's been quite a while flying the airliners. Really got into the PMDG 737, the 700 and the 800. Love that, but still got a pretty big passion for GA, and ever since this King Air, it's just really got me. Before that, the Cessna 414, also one of my favorites. If you haven't given that one a try, definitely an airplane worth the money, every penny. The real life, this area to the left here is a, I think it's a side farm actually. We'll see if we cut the side out there. Real life, a lot of times, not this time of year clearly. Approached us. Wheel up here. We'll go ahead and set the parking brake. Parking brake is set. Let's get ourselves ready here. So what we need is auto feather to the arm position, auto ignition, left and right both arm. We'll go ahead and get our landing lights on. And we'll get our strobe light on. We don't need a tail flood at this point because, well, hey, it ain't going to show. Let's get our fuel pumps turned on as well, left and right. And props are full forward. And we are looking good. What's our temperature here? Oh, we've come up to a toasty 67 degrees, which actually is not too bad if you ask me. That'll probably come up a couple more degrees. Fuel bit, brake cock lights. All right, we look like we are ready for departure here. We'll make our announcement and then we'll take the runway here. Warren County traffic, King Air 350 Kilo Romeo will be departing runway 19. We'll be making a left downwind departure to the northeast. Warren County. All right. Everything looks clear. Final looks clear. We are not going to back taxi. We're just going to turn and burn here. Typically, we probably back taxi there, but we're not going to back taxi for this exercise. All right, so parking brake coming off. We will go ahead and take the runway here. Again, turboprops, you fly in the low idle position unless you're needing some additional performance for short field takeoff and landings. Or for landing for your reverse thrust. What I understand is really where your high idle really comes into play. All right, we'll lay on the brakes here for a minute. We'll push up the throttles slightly. Let things stabilize here. Get our props up on the governor. And there they are. And now we will slowly add takeoff power coming in. And a little bit of rudder to keep us in the center line. Still steadily adding power. Slowly. You don't want to over-torque the turboprop here. So there's about 90%. And just a little more. And here comes 100 knots. And rotate. We are up. Positive rate. Tap the brakes, gear up. Alright, we'll go ahead and get our autopilot and we'll put our, we'll go ahead and get our flaps coming up here. Pitch for about 160 knots here on the climb out. Go heading mode here. So there's heading mode and indicated airspeed, and that should, again, like I said, we're going to pitch for about 160, and we are currently right at 160. So let's go ahead and make our left crosswind departure here. Back here just a little bit. One thing you got to remember in a turboprop, always pull your manifold pressure back before coming back on the props because your manifold pressure will climb. Alright, and we'll go prop sync on, and landing lights can come off, and taxi lights can come off. And let's go ahead now and
TOS
continue.
not available.
Not sure what that was. Let's go ahead and continue our left downwind departure here. Uh-oh. We have lost. That's interesting. I'll push a breaker in or out. I have completely lost my navigation. Not cool. Tell you what we're going to do. We are going to abort this flight for now. We'll go autopilot off as my airplane. And we will just go ahead and make our, go ahead and go back in on 19. Moore County traffic, November 350 Kilo Romeo. We're going to left downwind. We're going to extend our downwind and left base back into runway 19, Moore County. Not sure what happened there. That is interesting. I've never had that actually happen on this plane. There's the field to our left, so we will go ahead and send our way down here. We can go our first notch of flaps because we are well within the flap range speed here. We're actually already within the gear down range, so we'll go ahead and bring gear down. Let's see if we can't lose some altitude. Pattern altitude is basically 1900 or 2000. We're pretty good ways above that, so we're going to here. We can't get her down. Oh, definitely still on. And Moore County traffic, November 350 Kilo Romeo will be turning left base runway 19, Moore County. Slow. Fielded side over there. Moore County traffic, November 350 Kilo Romeo turning final runway 19. Alright, fields in sight. 1,000 feet. To our navigation, but we will figure that out. There's also an update, so I may need to restart and get things worked out here, but hey, I'm going to walk away hopefully.
2 mile final runway 19.
2 mile final. And Moore County traffic, November 350 Kilo Romeo is now short final runway 19, Moore County. final stage of flaps coming in. A little bit high, but we're still okay. No damper is now off. Just a little bit more. Get our speed in check here.
500.
500, continue. That's looking good here. Okay, the runway is made, so we'll slowly bring the power out here. Butter. Just roll her on out to the end. Here, flaps on up. Brake is set. Props going to come back. Out into the level here. And get some of this stuff off. Alright, and avionics master can be off. And let's go ahead and bring our props off, or mixture out. Fuel conditioners to cut off actually. Cut off here. As we come through. And we'll go ahead and roll our props to full feather. Of batteries. All right, well, hey, that flight didn't go quite as planned, but then it's part of the real world, right? Sometimes things don't go as planned. So we're going to take a break. We're going to kill the stream here, and I'm going to do a little investigate, probably update the GTN XI and back maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow, not sure yet. Just kind of get back into the streaming thing. But anyway, like the video, decent approach, decent landing. Didn't go quite as planned, but hey.